Hey guys, we are coming to you from Zoom today because we couldn't get our lives together to get this video shot, I guess. Is that fair to say, Andy?
Yeah, we've been running around town. Of course, today the outages happened with Signal, and we're just running around like crazy people. So
I
today
know.
we are on Zoom,
Yeah, playing a little catch up. So I'm Holly Haven,
and I'm Andy Haven.
and we are your Haven Home Team, your North Texas no filter real estate team. And today is our market update for March of 2024, which you guys know we're coming to you with February numbers. We know we're getting towards the end of March, but we still wanted to get this data out. And we have some context for what we're feeling is actually happening now that we're in March too. So we'll give that at the end, what we really kind of can see already how March and April and May are going to look a little different. But we're here today with these February numbers for the March 2024 update. So Andy, I'll let you start with Dallas.
Yeah, so Dallas, we are seeing a really great uptick in the average list price for the month of February. This we closed out February with an average list price of 757,000. That is up almost $100,000 from January, which is very typical. Again, we'll talk about this with pretty much all of our numbers. They pretty much all go up. We're coming off of the end of a lot of holidays, a lot of closeout sales for builders, stuff like that. So we will see an uptick in most of these numbers. Our sales price to list price ratio in Dallas went up to 98.7. Days to sell went down. We're at 45. Number of new listings went up to 1,400. Expired listings went down just a little bit to 980. And then months of inventory, we are at 4. We've been at 4 months of inventory consecutively since September of 2023. So we have seen a pretty balanced market when it comes to inventory, but we are seeing those house prices in Dallas go up drastically.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing is just the movement in the market, like you mentioned. We're coming off those winter months, so this is really what we would expect.
Yeah.
Which kind of brings me to Frisco, because Frisco had a little bit of a different shift in that price point, which was kind of interesting. So for Frisco, we're seeing the average list price was 865, which was down about $45,000 from the previous month. And our sell to list price ratio, words are hard for me today, went up a little bit. So it was 98.8%. That's a really great number. Guys, what that means is on average, we're getting 98.8% of the full list price for the homes that are on the market. So we're pricing these homes really, really properly in the market. Our days to sell went down a little bit from 50 days to 48 days. Number of new listings went up a little bit. Again, as expected, we have 265 new listings, and we had 140 expired listings, which again went down from the prior month. 3 months of inventory, which we've seen here for the last 3 months. And really, it's been 3 or 4 months since October of 2023. So again, Frisco is filling a really balanced market. We're not seeing a lot of those big up and down price points. We're really staying steady, and we're seeing a lot of averages. This is really what we'd expect to see. This list price is the same list price average we had in October of 2023, September of 2023. So this is not a big change for us. This looks pretty steady. I like it.
Yeah, and I expect that that number will probably go up in the month of March. We will obviously go over that in just a little bit, but we have been seeing this kind of on the rise a little bit.
Starting
Um,
to feel the market heat up.
Yeah, so now as we look at Prosper, what I will say is the list price average from last month and this month is almost identical. Nothing really changed. We went down $2,000, but that just shows that we've been consistent, and we've been right at 978-ish since December of 2023. So that is great. I will say our sales price to list price ratio has gone up almost an entire percent, which is great. We're at 97.1. We were at 96.3 last month, which just means that we're actually selling the homes for what we were listing them for.
Yeah.
69 days to sell. We are down a lot. We were 97 days last month. So again, that's a lot of inventory that was sitting that they put on sale that is now finally selling over these next couple of months or closing. Number of new listings that is down. We're actually at 99 new listings in February. Nothing crazy. It's not any bad news, but it's just not as much as we would have expected that month.
Yeah.
Expired listings, we are at 87, which is up as well. And then months of inventory, we're at 3, which is actually down from last month. But I think this is a lot of new builds being offloaded. For the number of new listings, there's nothing coming up because builders are still trying to get rid of stuff. So I think that's why we were feeling that in February.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Prosper just feels really, really stable right now. And you and I know, as we've been teasing what the market's going to do, we were in multiple offer situation on a buyer contract that we've been working on that we're closing out tomorrow. So this is not the sky is falling. This is not right. I mean, we're in multiple offers on the very best homes, or those homes that don't have a lot of competition. So I think our buyers need to be aware of that, interest rates have been kind of fluctuating around that 6.75, 6.85% is kind of what we're feeling. And that's not stopping people from buying the very best homes on the market. So that's kind of a note to our sellers to make sure your house stands out from the others if you're going to list it. So again, we can dive into that a little bit here at the end.
Yeah.
Celina. So same thing we say every month about Prosper and Celina. We didn't really go into it this time, but we have more new construction in Prosper and Celina, which always makes our numbers a little bit different than Frisco and Dallas. So Prosper had a $750,000 average list price. That has really been pretty steady. I mean, I'm going to say within $20,000 for the last year. We're not seeing a lot of big changes there on that average list price. So 750,000 for February. We had a sell to list price of 98.4%. That's really been pretty close to the same again for about the last 9 months, 12 months maybe. So that's not a huge change. We had 63 days to sell. That was down from 70 days the prior month. We have 140 new listings, which is less than what we had in January. And then we had 73 expired. That number is really good. That's the lowest we've had in a long time on expired listings. And part of that is we do feel like our sellers have come back around to what the market's doing. We're not doing these crazy overlist listings and then letting them expire. We've really come back around to what the market's doing. Our consumers are educated, our sellers are educated, and we're feeling a little bit more like this market has been stable. In all fairness, I think we could say the market has been slower than we're used to, right, for the last 6 to 9 months, Andy.
Yeah.
But what are we feeling right now?
We are, so again, this is March now. We're moving into what we're probably going to see in our next market update. We are seeing a lot more buyers jump into the market and a lot of sellers talking about jumping into the market in the next coming months. This happens every single spring. This is very typical. If you look at the bell curve of the real estate market, very, very typical. But typically, we do have a little bit more of a buildup coming up to this. I do feel like it's all kind of hit us all at once. Like, I want to list, I want to sell, I want to buy, I want to move, I want to relocate, whatever it may be, is all happening right this second. So I do think that we're going to see these numbers inflated a lot next month, and not artificially inflated. I just mean like everything is kind of going to go up in our March update, I imagine. I'm sorry.
It's going to be competitive because we're going to these buyers that are starting to get off the fence. They've been talking about it. They've been waiting for these interest rates. Now they're realizing, okay, guys, these interest rates really aren't going anywhere. We're going to be in the sixes for a while. So buy the house, right? Buy the house, refinance in the future. Let's make some plans to actually get off the fence, get out of the rental, get into the market, do all those things. And we're feeling that right now.
Well, and even if it doesn't become more competitive for the particular house that you are making an offer on, there is just going to be less options, even if you don't have competition for this particular house. So.
Yeah, for the exact house, right? There's just more competition in the market. So we see those sellers will be a little more stringent on their list price. They're going to want to see those 98 to 100%, offers for the most part if they're priced right. So the other thing, oh, go ahead.
We are going to see less days on market, most likely. So that is something you need to consider. If you see a house that you like, do not wait around for the price to drop. That is going to be very unlikely moving into a spring market in general. And especially since we've been waiting it out a little bit, not us, but buyers and sellers have kind of been waiting it out to like see what's going on. And I think that's going to be the competition is days on market, not actually multiple offer situations in some cases.
Yeah, no, I agree. The other thing I was kind of telling somebody earlier this week, something else we're feeling is for the last 2 years, I felt like my really fast-paced market was this 1.3 to 2.5. moving kind of crazy. Everybody was a little bit like chaotic, trying to like jump on these, these properties, move up, really make these big moves. And I'm feeling right now, we're seeing a lot of movement in the 450 to 750. Right? Like most of our calls right now are buyers in the 450 to 650, sellers in the 5 to 7 kind of range. We're seeing a lot more movement in that price range right now than we've seen in the last couple of years. And I think because we were so competitive, if you sold a house at 500,000, even though you might have great equity 2 years ago, you couldn't turn around and buy something easily. Whereas now we have a little bit more of a stable market. We feel like we can make some decisions without having to just like drop everything and move into an RV. So we're starting to feel that price point move a little bit, which is really, really, really good news for our market. And it's good news for our first-time home buyers and our, our smaller move-up buyers and honestly, people who just don't want or need $1 million plus property. So I think it's really good news for our local market.
Well, and what we like to see is if somebody is wanting to sell a $400,000 property, that is great news for first-time home buyers. The buyers at 400,000 are great as well, but we need more opportunities for people. And I know 400,000 probably sounds astronomical as a first-time home buyer, and it is, but unfortunately, that's our reality nowadays. Anything under 400,000, you are getting an absolute steal in this area, and you should take that property immediately. But other than that, I just think that if we can get more people in the $400,000 price range to get into the market, it'll get more people some more opportunities. So.
Yeah. And, for those people and you're right. Some people are hearing there's like 400,000 first home, like, no way, that's crazy. And guys, outside of these local areas, Prosper, Celina, Frisco, right, we can get you in a very nearby market. I recently had a client in a new construction contract under 400,000 in McKinney. So it's absolutely feasible. And we do have options. It just you may have to decide, what your commute looks like. Maybe we get you into a market that is nearby, like Melissa, who has had a lot of growth recently, Anna, Van Alstyne, some of these areas that really the commute is pretty convenient, but you're getting outside these, more, I don't know, what do you call I don't want to say they're more sought after because we're seeing a lot of people want to go to Anna and Van Alstyne, but they haven't grown as quickly as Celina, right? So we would call it a little bit of an outlying area, but it's still a great market. You can get in there for some really, really great prices. You can get a great home 5 minutes added to your commute. So we do have a lot of options for buyers that do want to get into the market.
Well, and not even 400,000. We have options between 150,000 to 350,000. It depends on what you are willing to do and where you're willing to move. But there's options in Sherman, Pilot Point, Princeton between 150 to 300,000. Not all of those areas offer 150K, but Sherman does. So I'm like, if there is that one person that is so tired of renting, so tired of throwing away their money, and renting is not always a bad thing, but if that is you, we can help you with that. There are options for people that need a lower house price point, and that's totally fine.
Yep. And we drive to all of those areas and we work in those markets. So the biggest builder of wealth in America is home ownership. It's the fastest way to grow your wealth, your equity, your assets. So we would love to help people do that, right?
We would. That's our job. We do love it.
Yep. So guys, if you have any questions, any thoughts, you want to know, hey, where do I start? Right. That was a call I got this week was we've only bought one house. We've been here for 6-8 years. We don't even know where to start. What do we do? And that's really where we come in is, yes, we're great at real estate, but we're really great at connections. We're really great at putting you in contact with the right people that are going to educate you, walk you through it, help you make those decisions, not just like, throw it at you and walk away. So our job is to help, connect you, be a resource for you, and help you make whatever your goal is a reality. So they can reach out to us by text, email, click any of the links below, right? Leave us a comment.
Social media, Facebook, Instagram. Yes. We are very active on all of our social media platforms. So if you ever have a question or anything, you can reach out there, or our phone numbers are on our social media as well.
Absolutely. So guys, we hope to chat with you soon. And we think our update for next month is going to possibly be pretty interesting. We're feeling the market shifting into a little faster paced mode. And so we think our numbers are going to represent that. And I'm kind of interested I'm gonna like bet on myself right now and say, I think we're going to be right.
I think so as well, especially from what we have already felt in March a little bit. So
absolutely. All right, guys. Well, leave us a comment, like, subscribe, share, and let us know how we can help you.
We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Sorry, I gotta figure out how to stop this thing.